two products in the collection are exclusive between today, the 2nd of March, till the 3rd of May. Hello, Renee. Hello, Sylvia. Thank you so much for joining. I am just refreshing myself here, and I am going to say I am all good and going. Thank you so much. Hey, Donna. So the butterfly bouquet is available today. So this is a look at some of the cards our amazing concept artists have made. Hey, Julie, haven't seen you in a while. Thanks. So you can see the dates there, today, the 2nd of March till the 3rd of June. Oh, thank you for sharing as well. And the products, I'm better to show you the physical products. I just want to make sure I'm live on YouTube because no one has popped over from YouTube yet. Although I'm confident I am, I just want to check. So we have the Butterfly Brilliance stamp set, which is a background stamp set. So all these butterflies are connected, and we are going to use, yes, I am live over there. Fantastic. I am going to use every single one of the products on a card today. Good morning, Miss Carol. Thank you for joining. So we've got Butterfly Brilliance, and to match that background set, we have the Brilliant Wing dies. Morning, Deb, or good afternoon. Actually, it's morning for you, but it's afternoon for me. Hey, Lisa, we have this big all connected outline die, so that cuts out all of the butterflies. We have some texture dies and some smaller butterfly dies in between, and then we have 6 outline dies. This is a huge set of dies, and if you remember me unboxing this, I didn't realize there was 2 sheets, and I just got a little bit excited when I saw these detailed dies. So I was and we're using the detailed dies today. Now these are early release, those 2 products. Hey, Kathy, those 2 products are early release and will continue till May 2022. Now, the 2 exclusive products that are only available until the 3rd of May this year are the Butterfly Bougie. I'm just going to say it how I say it. The butterfly paper. This is 6x6, and you get 48 sheets. So this front pattern matches those outline dies. So you can cut out 6 of the butterflies and then have the sides to use as extras. Hey, Sheila, thanks for joining. I have shared all of these, but when we're down flat, I'll share them because that will be easier for me. And the other thing that we have is the Natural Touch specialty paper. Now, this specialty paper looks like wood, isn't wood, is a true paper. So it is thinner than our normal cardstock, and it has a laminate texture and feel. So it's slick, but it's not, it's slick, but it hasn't got a huge sheen. Like, it's really hard to explain. I will show you because as I said, we've got a piece of it. I can't even get my words out. Hey, Margine. But it is a beautiful color and texture, and I just love a good wood grain. It just works with everything. Just, of course, there are papers. Right, that is all dealt with. Fantastic. So the card, and this is card I made with my team on Sunday, and this is the card that we are making today. So we're making 2 more. I have added in the Enjoy the Moment stamp set, so just a sentiment from the Enjoy the Moment stamp set, and Tasteful Label dies. And there was something else. Yes, the Opal Rounds. So the Opal Rounds, I think I might need to buy another packet. That's not many left. That's about half a pack gone. I will need to add that to my shopping list. I'll do that once we're turned around, because you don't need to see me right on my shopping list. So now that I've got a number of you here, I've got 12 of you. So thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate it. I think that's including me as the 12 as well, because I'm watching on my second screen at the same time. So I will move my laptop. You guys always get a flash of my laptop screen because I need to just like to make sure everything's working as I wish while I am sitting here and not looking straight down and crafting, and I can get everything going. So how is everyone? I hope everyone is well and has had a lovely weekend. Mine was busy but good. I had extra time, which I didn't expect, which was lovely actually. I was able to do some things without stress. So, like, you know, I always get things done. Hey, Joanne, you did catch me. So I do, you know, I do things, but I often do them thinking, I've got to get back, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Where it was just really nice to go. I got heaps done on Friday night, and I have plenty of time to do all these other things that were on the list, which was great. So let me turn off my light, get rid of the shadows, and we will get moving. Hello, Janelle, Benora Point. Is that Sydney? I know the name. I know it's in Australia. I even think more so it's in New South Wales. Give me where you're near, Janelle. Jog my memory. I'm sure being a point, Janelle, it's somewhere awfully beautiful. Oh, very good, Margine. That's great. Thank you for sharing, Delinda. Okay, so I'll quickly show you these butterfly Bijou papers. So we have, I've grabbed up too many at once. So I have our beautiful butterflies, and we have this beautiful cloud scene. I hate it when they put two really good patterns on each side, and I'm thinking I need to purchase more of this paper. So we have this little butterfly pattern, and it's actually 3 different colors of butterflies. So you've got I want to say Bermuda Bay, Highland Heather, and Mint Macaron, and you've got that on the back. Then you have these butterflies. I love that they're in the clouds. And I'm not picking up enough at a time. So you've got that as your A side, and then this beautiful Calypso Coral pattern as our B side. So you're seeing the B side first of this one. This is the pattern that we're using today, and a couple of the girls, when we were making this card, actually used this pattern on their cards near Coolangatta, but in New South Wales. Okay, Janelle. Okay, right. And then you've got this beautiful ombre styled rainbow. God, the words aren't coming. Oh, I'm glad Stamp Camp was successful. It's always good. So, Delinda, did you go to the same Stamp Camp as Margine? Now, this is this larger pattern shrunk down. So I like that I can die cut these butterflies, but then I have the choice to use smaller butterflies as well. And we have this on the back, which I love. Like this one. This is very muted. I have used it. I used it in my, oh, helps. I love the back of this. Oh my God. Love, adore, need this paper in every colouring 12 by 12. Just saying. So they are all our patterns, and what I'm going to show you next is the cards that I've already made. So I've already made 4 cards, including the one we are making today. Okay, so I'm just going to pop these back in here for safekeeping, because that's always a smart thing to do. And for those wanting to look at the flyer, you can buy everything separately, or you can buy it together in a collection pack. So as I said, the stamp set and die, buy separately or bundled together and save 10%. These are carrying over to the 2021-2022 annual catalogue, and both papers are while stocks last and only exclusive for this promotion till the 3rd of May. No. Okay, not a problem, not a problem. I did wonder. I'm sure I've said hello to Marjane. Well, you're both on Facebook, so she should see the messages. So Marjane, tell us if you guys were in. Okay, but were you in the same stamp camp? 5 paper pumpkin kits completed. Oh my God, that just blows my mind. But the collection in Australia, all these 4 products, thinking this is a double die set, is $125, which is great. So you are ready to go stamp, paper, dies, ready to make projects. Now, these projects I have only used, or I have used some sentiment sets. So I made this fun fold together, and I've only used 3 sheets of the 6x6 paper to make 3 cards. And we use the leftover butterfly to make this card with the Opal Rounds. So they're the 2 I made in my last video. And then when we went off the video, I quickly made up this card. So for this sentiment, I have used the cut above, the David and Dad set, as I call it, but I used the happy birthday from there and just stamped it in Bermuda Bay onto there and added 3 embellishments for a really quick and simple card. So yeah, they're the 3 cards I previously made, and then we're going to make this one today. Hey Kay, hello friends, hope you're all well. Yes, I am all well and all happy, but I just realized I didn't put all my paper away. So we'll do that so no paper gets damaged, because that's important. Got to keep it safe and dry, and so we can love it and pet it. Only the Aussies will get the love and the pet. It's from a 90s comedy show. Hey Carol, thank you. Okay, so we'll get this flyer out of the way and we will get moving. So we've got 2 of these cards to make today, and unusually I need to start with the card base. I actually need to fold them. So because everything's pre-cut, I'm going to go old school and not grab my trimmer down to square up these edges. But you can see, for those of you who have seen me use my trimmer, just whacking it into that corner and then doing this makes it so much easier for me than relying on the pressure of my fingers that don't work so well. Yeah, it's just a pencil case from a discount shop. It's from the Reject Shop in Australia, but you can get them from Kmart in Australia and also Officeworks. They're not all the same product at each one, but they are similar. So I purchased them there. I actually emptied some today in preparation for all the changes that with new catalogues that are happening over the next couple of months. I've started, just bear with me a second, girls. I've started bagging up some of my older products, so taking them out of my thick plastic sleeves and popping them into more cellophane type ones, and getting everything ready and prepared to make organising when new products come in a little bit easier. Hello, Rose. Hello, Mary. Thank you for joining. Oh, you just got your set, Kay. That's awesome. So we're going to start with the background stamp. So what do I mean by a background stamp? I will show you what I mean. That's just a bag of the bits I showed you in my unboxing video. So a background stamp is one single stamp that is big enough to stamp on the background of the card. As you can see, it is one single stamp, and I have seen some demonstrators keeping these bits in the middle, and they created an animal print out of it, which I thought was pretty cool. So I am using my Stamparatus in the reverse way to what it normally is. So I'm sticking the stamp on the base of my Stamparatus, and we're using Misty Moonlight ink, which is exactly the same as my card base. Hey, Barbara. I don't know if I said hello to you, so I'll just make sure I get that in. I always apologize if I say hello to you twice, but I prefer to say hello twice than miss it. So with all background stamps, just make sure you've got it well inked, and by using this darker ink you can actually see the detail. Now we open a card that way. Yes, I do have to do this at times, and I'm just going to place it down. Then I am going to close our lid. Next, now you can use your hand at this point, but because I don't have a lot of strength in my hands because of my issues, hello Miss Marshall, I am going to use, this is just an everyday whiteboard eraser. It's got felt on the bottom, and what I could do, I could pull down my sleeve and use my sleeve, but I'm not going to ruin my clothes. So it just allows me to get nice even pressure and glide over the lid of the Stamparatus. That ticking is just my bangle. Don't stress that I'm making a weird noise. I am. And then we get a mostly beautifully stamped image. I will put this section over here, but we will try again and see how we go. Can't be perfect all the time. The card has to be partially handmade, doesn't it? Okay. That is inked nicely. I'll close that ink pad. I'll leave it open because we've got to do our sentiment. And yes, I did, just in my head again, ask myself which way the card opens. You like that, Rose? Isn't it pretty? It's very delicate, and there's a lot of detail in it, which I love. So if it's this way, I've just got to get some pressure over here. So by using, now this looks like a mouse because that's just what I bought and what was available, but by not using my fingers, I'm not using the strength in my fingers, I'm using my whole arm. And we used this whiteboard eraser in my team meeting, and all the girls went, oh my god, I'm using my arm, not my hands. And they actually found it a lot easier. Ask where I bought it, and I think they're all going to get their own. So you can see I just spent a bit of time chatting with you guys. It moved a titch, but I'm not worried because this is not the focal point of my card. It's just a layer in the background. Sorry, I'm just grabbing my chamois, which is still damp enough to just do what I need to do, because I'm going to use this in a second again. I just want this ink, because it's a dark ink, mostly taken off. Right. Good-o. I would have preferred to use my Stampin' Mist, but in the taking this off, just the chamois is a titch easier. And I am just going to replace my magnet and replace my jig. I sillily said yes to one of my team members taking off my stamp, but I'm going to show you how to use the jig even though you've taken off the stamp. So it's going to be an education. Yes, this is called tone on tone because I have used the same color ink as the cardstock. So you're exactly correct. This is tone on tone stamping. So even though the cardstock and the ink are the same color, which is Misty Moonlight, it is classified as that, and the ink is actually darker than the color of the cardstock. Okay, next. Should I do, yes, while I've got it out, let's just go for it and do the rest of my stamping, because sometimes it's just easier to do it all at once. So I have my little packet here of all the bits and bobs and pieces, and because I'm stamping on vellum, I did actually cut a couple of extra. Now, as I said, this is from the Tasteful Labels dies, which are these ones here, and I've used, helps if I'm holding it properly. See, I do have issues with my hands. And I use this one here. I love that some of them have a stitch texture and some of them have an embossed texture. So you get a really nice mix through the whole set. Hey Roz, sorry if I missed you. Oh, this tool is called the Stamparatus. Or do you mean the Stamparatus, or do you mean the white board eraser? Or dry board eraser? I don't know what, I don't know if you guys call it a white board or a dry board. A dry eraser, thank you, Delinda. There's the cultural differences for you. So the sentiment I've chosen from Enjoy the Moment is friendship is found in simple things. And that cannot be truer at the moment, because my girlfriend had a major life event yesterday in the best way possible. She signed a contract to purchase something very large, and the simple thing we did, we rang and we squealed, because it was a moment in life where squealing to each other on the phone was needed. Now, because this stamp got removed from the jig, and you know what, I'm going to do it without the piece in there because that's going to be infinitely easier. Now I've looked at this stamp and the registration is off. When you look at it correctly, it is off to the right a little. So when I pop this down and I want to center it, I want the stamp to be off to the right a little. And if it's not straight, sorry, I do have to put my head in here just a second. There you go. I think I'm happy with that. And however it stamps, it's going to be a made card. So I've put it a bit off to the left because the stamp registers a bit off to the right. And I've just eyeballed it. But I know I want to stamp this twice. Hello, Miriam. Thank you for joining. I have no idea where you're from. I have never heard of that place name ever. So you will have to educate us a bit about where actually in the world you are. So I'm going to stamp on the vellum again with Misty Moonlight. And we're going to have to dry this because we haven't got the luxury of leaving the ink to dry because we want to complete 2 cards. Hey Alison, thanks for joining. So I'm going to stamp this once. It's not perfect, but it's okay. And I purposely are doing 2 lighter layers because the ink on vellum, it doesn't sink in like cardstock because vellum is actually a type of plastic. Do you know what? I'm going to be bold and stamp it 3 times. And I think this ink pad actually needs re-inking. Look at that. I was able to stamp it 3 times in Stamparatus. Okay, that's the first one done. This is why I love the Stamparatus. Now, one of the girls did slightly move theirs on Sunday, and I just had some extra pieces that we could use with this, especially onto vellum. I just had a few extra pieces. What's a few extra pieces of vellum between friends? So I'm going for, that is in, lighter layers, and that did move, but I'm going to pop it back in its original position and pray that that is close enough. This ink pad, I think all my, okay, I'm going to leave that at 2 because they look pretty similar in depth of colour. So I'm happy with that. That is all of our stamping done. I'm going to be naughty and not use my Stampin' Scrub on my red rubber just for convenience. But what I would have to do for the red rubber is pick this up, pop it on a block, and then do it that way. But I'm going to just pop this on the front, and then I will give it a quick scrub in the Stampin' Scrub before I put this away. So I'm just going to push these off the edge and pop the Stamparatus away because we are completely finished with that. Don't need this, don't need my tweezers. I am going, although I may need my tweezers, I may eat my words there. I do need my heat tool because, as I said, that ink is actually wet. Now, if I grab this with my tweezers, I will see if I can show you that the ink is actually shiny on there. And what I want is to use the heat tool and make it dry. So by dry, I mean the ink is no longer shiny and has dried on the top of the vellum. So for cardstock, I would use setting 1, which is meant to be ink dry. But because we're drying on vellum, I do put it on the full embossing mode. And what I want to do is just hold this flat against the table. I'll put my head in a position that I can see when it isn't shiny anymore. And it's not taking long at all. Okay, and then that is all good, and I'll go on to my second piece. So it does dry back a touch lighter, which is why I went for the second layer of stamping. This will be even quicker because the heat tool's already my hands. Okay, because the heat tool was already preheated when I did the second piece, it didn't take as long. So this is the Stampin' Up! Heat tool. I love it because the plastic goes beyond the metal tip. So I can put my hand there and I'm not going to burn myself on that metal tip. And I did talk about the 2 heat settings as well, which I find incredibly helpful. Hello, Jeannie. I could have, yes. Absolutely, I could have done that as well. But I didn't want, I'm putting on Opal Rounds, so I didn't particularly need any more bling. Otherwise, it will take away. So next, I am going to bring back in, because I've shown you these earlier, the Brilliant Wing dies, and we're just going to die cut 2 of these detailed butterflies. Okay, so as just remember, this piece, this outline piece is 1 piece. These detailed pieces are individual, as are these 5 pieces here. So you actually get 12 dies, including this huge die in the set. Now I am going to play smart, even though I actually have the room on my desk, and use our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This is a great thing to grab by signing up to get a discount with Stampin' Up. So you can sign up and be a demonstrator and get 20% discount as a start on your Stampin' Up products, which I think is a pretty sweet deal. It does help if you don't try and grab the pink piece of paper through the bag. Couldn't see it was in the bag because the bag's clear. Deary, deary me. Okay, pop that there. That fits absolutely perfectly. And this is Magenta Madness, the color. So another one of our 2020 to 2022 in colors. Now I know that just grabbed and went on an angle, but it's going through, so I'm not worried that that just had a funny, weird angle. Okay, I'm going to leave that there like that, cut out our second one, and then we will get all our bits out together using our Take Your Pick tool, or the Take Your Pick die brush, and the foam that comes with it. So you can tell I'm not used to using this side of the machine. Did I have to run it through twice? Quite possibly. Just with this detailed die, you are better running it through twice. You are not going to go through, are you? No, you're not. I was playing funny buggers the other day with me. with light staggered plates. So let's see. No, the first one went through so well. Just going to see if I can pop it on the titch of an angle. And my husband's getting a delivery. I can tell it's our normal man by his knock. Isn't that sad? I know who's at my door by their knock. No. Oh, something for me. No, it's yours. It's an Amazon bag. It's for you. Wonder why it comes in my name. Oh, the account's in my name. Does that mean I have to pay the bill? I don't think I should have to pay the bill if it's not mine, just quietly. I've just popped this plate over. Sometimes these mini plates can just be a titch temperamental, but I wasn't worried. A couple of my girls were a bit worried. Do you know what? I'm not going to persevere. I am going to grab out my big machine only because we are on Together Live and I just want to get this done and not hold you guys up any more than I need to. So I have my base plate, plate 2, 1, plate 3. I am going to pop this down. The detailed dies these dies are the only dies I have ever had an issue with my mini. So just saying, I've not had an issue with any of my other dies. Just these really, really detailed ones. Now, I find this machine does it as well. Thanks to Linda. It's just, look, it did it on the weekend, so I wasn't surprised it did it. And I'm saying much more it's the dies than it is the machine. I do just want to run this one pass through. Just one pass to just make sure, because I only ran this through once. So that is back in the die. And I can run it back through. So if you find you haven't cut out or a die hasn't cut out properly, you can reline it up in the die. Look at those pieces. They are just falling out. And I have pink all over my floor, as you can all imagine. Okay, sides up. Sorry, just getting myself, putting things back in their proper place so I don't get annoyed later. I need my piece of foam, which is totally out of my reach. I'm going to put these plates away in their home and we will create some more room. Now, the other thing that you can do, and I'll show you on the mini, to stop it spinning is make sure these feet are lint and dust free. Mine are currently covered in crap, but if I just wipe that over with a damp cloth or even a baby wipe, my hair, Louisa's hair, is thoroughly stuck to this. She's molting again, God help us. But yes, if you just wipe that over, that brings back the, not stickiness, but the suction qualities to them. And that goes for both machines, just making sure those feet are dust free. Okay, so now I have my die brush attachment on my Take Your Pick tool. So this literally just screws in. And on the other end, I have chosen to have my paper piecing tool because I think the paper piecing tool goes fantastically with the die brush. Oh my dear word. That was one roll. This doesn't want to. There we go. Woohoo. There is like one tiny piece. So that is all out. And this, oh, these are coming out wonderfully. Love it. I'm not putting a lot of pressure because I don't want it to excessively curl. So now that I've got majority of them out, I just go in with my paper piercing side and literally, if I can get it in the right spot, literally just get those out. And those are all debitted. No, they're all, I've ejected all the pieces and I've weeded it. Probably is, Roz, that's good to know. I may ring up. But as I said, I've only had problems with that one die, and it is a fairly new. Yes, that is true, Roz. I do have a silicone mat sitting off to the side. That is also a fantastic tip. You girls are amazing, and you teach me things too. Just bear with me while I have a little sip of water. That was more than a little sip, but you know. Yeah, have a check of yours, Margine. But it's something you have to do regularly, so it's just make it a habit. Okay. That's good to know. And it's good now that I've used this die in the larger machine and it worked a dream, because that's always good for them to know the comparison as well. So, but as I said, that's tiny issues. That's nothing major for me. And I think 4 of us got that die through the mini machine, no issues, on Sunday, and the other 2 had issues. So I think we all did pretty well. The odds were pretty good. That was the chair and not me. I humbly promise. If you heard that, that was not me. My chair is a squeaky chair. The bits of... No, I'm going to be blessing my desk. Oh no, there's only... Oh no, there's a couple of bits. Now I'll be blessing my area with pink paper or magenta paper. Okay, so now we can embellish these pieces. Now, the reason I'm embellishing before I stick, especially with the vellum, is because we're going to be putting our Opal Rounds behind the vellum. Actually, considering I've only got 8 little ones left, I so need to buy a new pack of these. Okay. So I need my other Take Your Pick tool. Yes, I do own 2, because this one has my putty end, which is my pickup that I use for all my embellishments. And I'm just going to put a big one just to make our butterfly a bit more of a focal point. And then I'm going to use 2. Oh, I used the wrong size. It doesn't matter. Then I'm going to use a small and a large here on our sentiment. So one here. And then we're going to hide our glue dots under it to adhere this label. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure how I'd adhere the label. I'd love to hear your ideas about how you would adhere it without doing what I'm doing and hiding the glue dots under some embellishments. Okay, so our card bases are done, our embellishments pieces are done. Now we need to do some assembly. So let me put this back in here. Oh, I need to roll down and see these comments. That's what I said last time. What did I say last time, Kay? Oh, God. What have I done? What have I said? Never ask me to remember what I say. I said something really, really cool to my upline, and she said, I'm writing that down because that's so good. And then I texted her because I was putting on a load of washing at the same time. Yes, adhesive sheets. Yes, that is a very good tip, Roz. I like that. And I had to text her and go, what did I say that was so good? And she goes, lucky I wrote it down. Hey, now you could use dry glue such as our seal, or I am using very small dots, much smaller than what I'd normally use on a card, of our wet glue. If you use too much of our multi-purpose glue, I do find it warps the vellum. So I've chosen to use the vellum for this card, and then when I drop it, it doesn't totally stick. But I chose to use the vellum, so I actually end up with a blue border, a blue translucent border, rather than using a whole nother piece of paper, possibly introducing a whole new color. It just picks up the color underneath. And I am going to, because you know, when you've made a card a couple of times, you think of a smart way to make it. So I'll show you here that these pieces are actually one piece of paper. So you can see the gradient happening, and this piece still works on the Misty Moonlight because you do have a titch of Misty Moonlight in the corner. And if I don't close this, someone will end up crying and it will be me. Everyone can keep their comments. Thanks. Oh, the noise on the chair. Right. Okay, no, that's fine, Kay. That's fine. Yes. It's just started squeaking. So I'll have to look at. I am just going to use a titch of hand sanitizer now because that didn't quite go as expected. So adhesive sheets are great, Roz. I know some people cover the whole background using our multi-purpose glue. I find using the adhesive sheet and the multi-purpose glue does make the vellum a bit more translucent than what it normally does. Now, I never showed you this paper, but it does have the wood grain slightly embossed into it, and I'm hoping you can see it. And it does have a coating on it, but it's not a glossy coating. So yeah, yes, you can see that in the screen. So what I am going to do, I'm going to add, because this is what I've learnt. So I was putting the Natural Touch paper down and then adding this on top, but it is so much easier if I add it down as one piece. So here's one done, and then I can just put that one piece where I want, rather than this is all a bit on an angle because I didn't put it down straight. I was surprised. No. Okay. Okay. Pop this one down. Love, I have that wiggle room. I'm assuming that's roughly, oh, I can't even pick it up. It's too wet at the moment. Right. Oh, I just realized this has a slight splattery effect in the background as well. Oh, I like that. Okay, so now we're bringing in our stamped backgrounds. We're going to decide where we want them, whether we want it in the middle and just seeing the edges of the butterflies, or we can scoot it off to one side and see more, or this side and see more. See, I preferred this side because you saw more of these ones. That was just my preference. Kind of about there. You girls are all very quiet today. Or people. I should not exclude anyone who's watching and hasn't said hello. Okay, so just my teeny dots. Gives us enough wiggle room to get it sitting straight. Because I purposely made this wood grain piece not the complete length of the card. So then you've got that misty moonlight the whole way around. Looks fantastic. Awesome. Okay. That is, probably will use it again, but yeah, these things happen, don't they? Oops. Now, on this one, I have to put it on the other side because I kind of stuffed up my stamping. But you still see this beautiful large butterfly. Titch of glue there. Okay, there's that one on. So it looks good. You get part of one and part of the other. Okay, so now just for lining these up, you can see the double stamping worked really well to make that sentiment dark enough to stand off those vellum pieces, but you can still see the butterflies underneath. Now, I personally think it's easier to put your outline butterflies on first, so then you can line up your sentiment easier. So just a titch of glue, don't need too much. And it doesn't need to be in the middle either. It could be fluttering off this way. And then if you wanted, you could pop this off to one side as well. Oops. I had girls doing all types of things. I know you're all watching. It's just you guys are normally having a good old natter while I'm going, that's all. Apparently this is very exciting today. And I'll have him flying off the card in this direction. I don't know why I'm calling it a him, but I shouldn't discriminate that a boy would like to wear or be pink. Yeah, I'm thinking I need to pop this off to the side and I will grab my glue dots. That's exactly right. I have to offset is a great look. Yes, awesome. I'm glad you are all liking that. So I find it easier. Sorry, my team member said something about the glue dots, and I don't necessarily agree with what she said. She said there was some embossed name on them, so you can see this glue dot fits perfectly. We've been going for a while for 2 cards, guys, but there was lots of talking today. That's my excuse. There was a whole new, all these products being released, and it was of the utmost importance that I spoke to you about them. And then we've got I just press on the Opal Rounds to pop that down. And then we do the same thing, and our cards are almost done. Thank you, Debbie. I'm glad you like them. Just making them a titch different. You know, got to spice it up. So nicely hidden behind there. I do always find where my next one is, and I just, let's see, I just rip it off. I did use my teeth, but this is mine. No one else uses these ones. These are my desk ones. So I do just have them all ready without the excess to use for next time. Okay, and this one I want still offset, but a bit more centered, if that makes any sense. Okay, so they're the 2 cards that we've done today. That's my original card. Put some things away here. I will get out everything we've used. So I think I will highlight that card. I'll pop the other 2 to the side, and I'll bring in what we've used. So we've used the Brilliant Wing dies. We've used, and we have also used the Tasteful Label dies. So I'll pop these in together over here, over there. And then we used Butterfly Brilliance stamp set, the Enjoy the Moment stamp set. We did use, and where did I put it? We used the Butterfly Bougie paper. Let's see how we're going here. The Butterfly Bougie paper and the Opal Rounds. So we haven't used too many products, I don't think. The set is gorgeous, and I love the fact that it's a background stamp, so you can use it as I did today as a background, but then with the dies you can use all the butterflies individually. So I think it's a very, very versatile set, and then you can put whatever sentiment you want with the set. Yay, Donna, that's awesome. I do hope it arrives tomorrow. Thank you very much, girls. I will be back on Thursday. We will be playing with flying things, but we're changing tact, and we're going to use some dragonflies on Thursday. So that's after I have a little date with David. He's got the day off on Thursday and has requested that we go for a walk and some coffee. My pleasure, Delinda, my absolute pleasure. You guys have a lovely couple of days, and I will see you about 12 noon, which is Australian Eastern Standard, currently daylight saving time, and I will see you guys then. Thanks, and if you need any comments or you want to purchase any of these products, they are available now, and the link for my store will be up shortly. If not, go to my blog, which is in the bio, and you can find my store there. Bye, guys.